Becky night on Friday, September 22nd. And we're going to be covering a very, very to the heart story because it's not only local, but it's close to my heart because Old Children's Hospital helped save my daughter when she was a young age. And we're going to cover tonight of Take Care of Maya. And what we're going to do is show you the court scenes and also play the 911 call from the actual day that they saw their mom in the garage. So Becky, go ahead and let's get started and see what we have.
All right, so let me go ahead and share. First, we'll go ahead with the 911 call.
Perfect, because that's where it all started.
And let me get started with this.
Get ready, people. This is close to the heart.
All right.
Everybody come on in and join.
What's the address?
This is the uncle.
What city are you in?
Venice. Closest road is Lee Road in Venice.
Is there a name to the neighborhood?
Kyle.
What's the phone number that you're calling from?
I'll give you my cell.
Tell me exactly what happened.
She hung herself in the garage.
Wow.
No.
Stay on the line.
We can hear screaming in the background, which is the son.
Well, I'm in the garage.
How old is she?
42.
Is she awake? I just have to verify.
She's stiff. Oh my God.
Pause that for a second.
No, Kyle, you can't.
So in the background, you can hear the screaming. It's not the daughter because she's in the hospital at All Children's Hospital because they wouldn't release her. So you're hearing the son screaming in the background while the dad is on 911 trying to really keep his composure tight to get them there. I just couldn't imagine that scene. And this is the brother here having to listen to this right now in court.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and continue. I just had to take a break for a second on that one.
Okay.
And here we go.
Okay, tell me why she looks like she's dead.
No, I'm a retired deputy fire chief. I know she is.
Do you think she's beyond any help?
Beyond. Yes, friggin' more. I'm sure she's really.
Okay.
Stiff.
I'm sending I'm sending someone to assist you. Please leave everything as you found it. Is there anything we can do for you?
Okay, just please get somebody here.
They're on their way.
I'm gonna get my.
Wow, what a tough call.
Call my neighbor.
Okay. Can you tell me the address there one more time?
And I'm just going to let it play a little bit for the brother.
Okay, they're on their way.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
That's a tough one. That's tough to hear. It's
Yeah.
tough to hear. This story, to fill everybody in, just happened a while back, but it's a local story. Old Children's Hospital is just right over the bridge from us here in St. Pete. This little girl suffered as a young age in a disease that they had no idea what was happening to their little girl. So as a father, we would do anything to help our kids, correct? I mean, that's what we would do. Try to find anything and any doctor who can help my child get better again and be normal. And these parents did just that. We couldn't help them here, so they went to Mexico to get help. And unfortunately, it didn't go too good for them.
Well, the thing is, they went with another doctor that wasn't part of Children's Hospital, and with his practices, he recommended ketamine, which is like a narcotic. It's a painkiller. So he recommended it in high dosages, which
in Mexico
Children's Hospital, right? It's against their practices here in the United States,
right?
But you know, that it was different, so he can practice down there in Mexico. And they put her into an induced coma, a
Right.
ketamine-induced coma, to go through the
And then once she
process.
came out of that coma, she was fine.
Right, she was
Correct?
feeling a lot better, and so yeah,
Yes.
they just proceeded on with that regimen until the night of the hurricane, Matthew, that came, you know, to the
Right.
local area.
Exactly.
And that night that it was the hurricane, she had flared up again with the pain, and so they brought her
Right.
to All Children's Hospital.
All Children's again. And there's nothing against All Children's Hospital. I mean, I'm 100% for this family. Don't get me wrong, everybody, but All Children's Hospital is a very, very good hospital for the kids. And they treat everybody with the most respect. They take care of the kids. And I was there 8 hours in a day. They were waiting for my daughter's surgery to finish, and they did nothing but treat us like family. But unfortunately, in this situation, it's a hard one to really judge, because when you leave the country and get medication that we don't have here in this country.
Well, we have ketamine. It's just the
Well,
practices are different.
right, the practices are different, and the dosage that was given to the daughter at the weight of what she is, the age. But again, we do anything we can to help our kids. If I had to go all the way to Guatemala, I would have, to help and save
Right.
one of my daughters. All right, let's go ahead and continue here and listen to the brother. It's a very touching story.
What'd you do with Kyle when you got there?
I grabbed Kyle and I asked Jack if he could call the fire department, and just told him I'm getting Kyle out of here. And I scooped up Kyle, and he's just a skinny little boy, and I grabbed him and took him home, and we sat in a chair in my living room for probably 6 or 8 hours crying.
Wow. Thank God he
Did you
was
see
there.
Jack
He
the
had
rest of that
somebody.
day?
I'm sure I did when I brought Kyle back, or I don't recall honestly.
Maya was still at Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital.
Yes.
And when was that? That was what month was that? December.
I don't remember what month it was.
Well,
What I'm going to do is I'm going to share the other, his account, the brother's account.
okay.
So just a moment. Let me
It's
go
just a
ahead.
touching story. I'll tell you that right now. Just to listen to this from the family members. I mean, we haven't even seen the kids yet, the father. And here it is now. That's the father and the son.
How you woke up that morning?
Jack called me and said Beata just hung herself, and you need to get over here right away.
Did you rush over?
Yes, immediately. I told my wife Beata hung herself. I'm going to Jack's, and I took off across the street.
It's a brave kid. It's a brave boy.
You went into the house.
Yes,
Did you go in through the front door or the garage?
front door.
Where was Kyle?
Kyle was near the laundry room door, which is just to the right of the front door. And
Just
he was
sadness
trying
in
to
his
get
face.
into the garage. Jack was yelling, "Kyle, no, you can't go in there." He was trying to keep him back.
Can I stop you there?
Mhm.
Your Honor, we'd like to, at this point, publish 2615 and allow the jury the opportunity to listen.
Is it in evidence?
It is, Your Honor.
Okay, they're just going to go back over the 911 call.
With him, yeah. And it's touching. It's a touching call.
2017.
That's just the emotion.
077 106.
And there's Maya now sitting there in the
Yeah.
front with the attorney. And again, as everybody knows, what they're doing is suing All Children's Hospital for over $200 million is what they're doing.
Yeah, they're calling
Again,
it medical abduction. So basically, when she went into the hospital that night of the Hurricane Matthew, I believe it was like October 16th, or
Right.
it was sometime in October 2016.
Okay.
And so when she went into the hospital to get treatment, the mother knew what regimen she should be taking and was really aggressive with recommending, hey, this is how you treat my daughter. This is how you go about this regimen, because she knew. And the mother was also a registered nurse herself.
Oh, right. Exactly.
So she came in with a lot of knowledge, and
Mhm.
she introduced this regimen to the hospital. But since it was against the hospital's policies to do
They had
this
to call it
regimen,
in.
right, and they felt that it was neglect or some sort of abuse.
Well, and right there, you have to go by the law. Everybody has to remember everything is by the law. We have to go by all the foundations of what the hospital recommends their nurses to do and doctors, because they're there to save people, especially kids. You know, because it's kind of hard that they're going to hit them for $200,000, over $200 million in a lawsuit. It's going to hurt all children's a lot, but unfortunately, the family does deserve it. So let's go ahead and continue.
Okay.
And go get coffee at Wawa and sit down and have a sandwich and talk to a couple vets that would sit out there every morning, and we'd kind of hang out with them. And then we would go help neighbors, whether it be painting baseboards in their house or painting their house, or we kept busy helping people, because that's what we were always taught to do. But
Ooh, this is so hard for this.
changed in the sense of I keep going back to humor thinking about this. Not that you're not funny anymore. He's a very serious person because he knows the struggles he has raising two children alone. I'm glad I was there for him. I'm glad he was there for me.
It's good. It's the way you should
We help
be.
each other a lot, but he's different. He's just probably doesn't socialize as much. I know he doesn't socialize as much as he used to. There used to be a lot more gatherings in the neighborhood and everything that there is now, and he was always a big part of them.
At least she's healthy now.
Kind of became my
Yeah.
community as well.
Yeah, so I'll pause it here.
Yeah, let's pause it there. They get ready to speak to the daughter here soon, correct?
I don't see her take the stand today.
Oh, okay. This is just unbelievable what's going on right now, and it's hitting this local area again, coming back again. It was a big story when this was actually happening. So what else do we have here tonight?
So we have this, the 911 call, and also the brother speaking. Now we can listen to the son because he
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for. Let's listen to the son speak on what happened that night or that day that he came home and saw his mom in the garage who hung herself.
Yeah. And
we know that mom she was a nurse. She was such a good person, but she got abused by not only the hospital, the public. The public went so much against her. It was like bullying, and she just couldn't take it anymore. So she chose suicide, which is it's a shame. And that's why I'm for the family. I'm for the family.
Like that, so
I'm definitely
I
for
just
the
remember
family.
watching the documentary maybe a month or two ago. It came on Netflix.
Yeah, I watched it last night.
Okay, please be seated.
That's what everybody should watch. Watch that
Members of the jury, I want to
documentary on
confirm why you were
Netflix.
away. You did not
Take
discuss
care of
this case
mine.
amongst yourselves due to no investigation. You received no.
Here we go.
Is that all correct?
This is emotional
Now,
now,
let me
people, so
make
get ready.
a
Everybody
statement.
come on in and
You're
join
seeing a lot
and lounge
of,
around.
exhibits. I will tell you, when you deliberate, you will have all exhibits available to you. So
Here, let me.
don't think that this is the
Go to
only
this
time that
side.
you'll ever get to see.
Here we
Do you
go.
recall moving to Venice?
I do recall moving to Venice, yes.
Okay. At that age, I know you were really young. Let's, with the court's permission, publish 2528-081.
You may.
Is this soon after you moved to Venice, or around the time?
This is actually before we moved to Venice. We took a vacation to Venice as a family to just check it out. So yes, this was actually before we moved there.
Do you have early memories of Venice?
I do.
And at least
They
up
still in
until
Venice?
Your mom passed.
I believe so.
Happy in Venice?
Yes.
Look at how little they were.
So now, you were going to school here. Where did you go to school? Elementary?
In elementary, I went to Taylor Ranch.
All right. And where are you going now?
I'm currently doing online school.
Okay. Before online, did you go to junior high or high school here?
Yes, I did junior high and
Uh-huh.
high school in person before.
Good. Good.
All right. So
This poor kid.
up until,
Reliving it all over again.
let's say, the July 4th, 2015, we've talked about here, you've been in the courtroom for. Can you tell the jury whether your sister, from your perspective, was healthy and active?
Yes, Maya was extremely healthy and active. We did stuff on the daily together, and from that point, she never complained about any pain or anything.
Okay. Was she
See?
pretty, like if she fell down, was she the type of kid that cried a lot, or was she the type of kid who held it in?
Maya was like the type of kid to hold it in. She didn't want to really just bother people about it, so she would hold it in.
Was that true of her throughout the whole time you knew her?
Yes,
Known her?
yes.
She's a strong kid. Stronger than
So,
most to deal with what she dealt with as a
You
young
said
child.
you did a lot together. Let me show you, court's permission, 2528-117.
Yes, you may.
And this is you two before she got sick,
Correct.
out in the back.
Yes.
Okay. Is that something that you two like to do a lot?
Yeah, that was
So
something
they must have been
that,
very, very
that
young
Maya
at that time.
would do a lot.
Fish out back there. Got it. And this is right out back of your house, the little lake?
Yes,
there?
that's correct.
Okay. All right. So, do you recall your sister getting sick? Do you remember that day that she got sick, or were you there?
I remember the day, but not,
Come on in, people,
it's like
and join
a
and
little bit
lounge
of a blur
out
for me, but I do
with
remember
News
some
Lounge
stuff.
with Becky
Let's
and
figure
Johnny
out
Guns
now
Investigation.
If
Covering
Maya was,
Take Care of
what,
Maya.
about 9 when this happened, you would have been, what, 7?
We're live,
Okay. Do you have any memories of it?
I do have some
7/18,
memories of it, yes.
What do you
Friday
recall about
night.
that?
I remember
September
her cough
22nd.
that she had. It wasn't like a normal cough like that any other person would have. It was like a very deep, and it wasn't just a cough. It was her like crying and moaning and coughing all at the same time.
Do we have that clip previously marked into evidence? What is it? 2616. It's 2616? Just can you tell the court?
It's 2616.
What is- how old is he now, 20? His son?
Previously played.
I don't know.
You may play that portion.
Thank you. And what are we going to hear now? This is the cough?
Correct.
All right, go ahead.
We're going to hear the cough.
Now, Kyle, tell us about that. Do you recall that episode?
I don't recall that particular one, but I do remember certain episodes that were very similar to that one.
Is that the cough?
And
Yes, that's
then when this was happening at the hospital or home?
And when did that cough start? Was this after the 15th,
Do you know that, Becky?
2015 4th of July time period?
Yes, that's the first
I'm
time. I
just
heard it,
following
but I
along
addressed-
with you.
Okay. All right. And she had that for a long period of time?
Correct.
Now, after that point, then we're talking about the 4th of July when you first
And here we go
saw
now.
her,
Never be
your-
the same
your,
again. She suffered this kid her whole life.
sister gets sick. Did you start having to go away a lot for treatments?
Yeah, she was always going away. I just assumed that they were just normal doctor appointments. I didn't really have a understanding on where she was going. But yeah, she was starting to go away a lot more.
And from your perspective, I know you were 7.
It's filling in
So,
everybody. What we're covering tonight is
but
discussing
was she
to take care of Maya
continuing
trial.
to not do well.
And this is her
Or
brother
getting worse over this period.
discussing
yeah,
the illness
whole,
and the
timeline of events, like starting from
problems that her sister went
4th of
through.
July, it was all a decline from there in her progress, like her health.
Okay. And did there come a time when you recall her going off to Mexico?
I do recall that time frame. Yes.
Now, did you go on that trip?
No, I did not.
All right. So let me show you now. Well, strike that. So
I wonder
she
how
was in
long that
Mexico
took in Mexico
for a period of
for that
time?
treatment.
Yes.
And was that before Christmas of
Yeah, to
2015?
finish watching
I
the
do not
documentary.
recall exactly.
I've watched it months ago, so.
But around that time in the winter of 2015?
I believe it was around that time frame. Yes.
Well, let me show you trial exhibit 2530-003 in evidence. Move to publish.
You may.
Okay. Oh, and who's all that? Is that Christmas?
Yes, that is Christmas, and that's my family.
All right. Now, she had just come back from Mexico by this time?
Yes, now I remember that. Yes.
Okay. Now, tell us about then after this period. She
Wow.
from Mexico towards the very end of November, beginning of December. I think the evidence will show. And she went to Mexico. I want you to tell the jury about how she did after that, compared with what she was like before she went to Mexico.
Yeah, so after Maya got back from Mexico, she regained a lot of her strength, and also along with that, her happiness. And she was able to do stuff she was never able to do before. For example, Maya, just even unscrewing a water bottle cap would be very difficult for her. And then after a trip to
Wow,
Mexico,
could
she
you
regained
imagine?
strength back from all over her body, and she was able to do stuff that she hasn't been able to do since she was sick.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me show
We-
you.
we would have all
then,
done the same thing.
maybe
I would have been in
an example of
Mexico.
This is okay. 12. This is trial exhibit 2530-006 in evidence. Move to publish.
You may.
Okay. Well, this is just about 6 weeks after Mexico. What's significant there about Maya's feet?
They are a lot more straight than they were.
What were her
Yeah,
feet
her
like before
street
she
were
left?
They
crumpled
were turned
in.
in.
Like how? Like.
They were turned in quite a amount, yes.
All right. And did she have any choice in that? Is that something that she had any control over, or were they always like that?
No, she had no control over that. They were always like that.
All right. And so.
Wow.
Now, in this photo here, where are you? You're in your pool or someplace else?
Yes, we were in our backyard pool.
Okay. And so how's she
Being a
doing
happy
here?
family at that
Doing
time.
Better from what you recall?
Yeah.
Enjoying life
Before
with
she
their
had
mother.
the long-term
Yeah.
care
Family.
treatment?
Yes, Maya is most definitely doing better.
They made an error at all
Others,
children. They
she was
really
never
did.
able to have that much motion.
But we
with her
all make
hands
errors.
up in the air like that, and she was never able to have her.
Yeah,
feet
but
up.
that's why they're
Yeah,
in
let's talk about
court
that a little
now
bit. Now,
to
before she went
correct
off for
as
the
much as
ketamine
they
treatments
can.
in Mexico.
Right.
Um,
Exactly.
Did you know from watching her what parts of her body hurt her?
Yes.
Tell the jury the different areas that you physically saw or learned in some way that she was hurting in.
Yeah, what I experienced is a lot of the pain was in her lower extremities, but there was also pain in her upper extremities, especially with her arms.
Okay.
Smart
And
kid.
Did you see different things other than the bottle cap where she would have difficulty holding herself up or getting herself around?
Yeah, she had a belt for her wheelchair because she couldn't sit upright, and if there wasn't the belt there to hold her in her wheelchair, it would cause her to fall.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. And then if we
So
look at...
I guess they're trying to establish
exhibit
They're a supporting
history.
family. Yeah, they definitely are. But they're there for each other. You know what I mean?
Later, in March of 2016, moved to publish.
You would have taken one of your daughters to Mexico, wouldn't you?
Yeah, what's that?
To save her?
That is mine again in our backyard.
I know I would.
This is a touchy.
They look
It is
better?
touchy. It is.
Yes,
I
they're
mean,
looking a lot better.
But when you see her feet, the way they
I
were
can't
crumbled
say
in,
what I would do in another
Move them
person's
into that position
situation.
like
I
that?
mean, they
Right.
did what
She
they
wouldn't
did,
need- she wouldn't
what
need
they
help
felt
for-
was
for her
best to
feet
do.
exactly.
Got it. Okay.
But you got to remember, what's good in Mexico is not good here. So we have to follow the laws of the United States in this country, and that's what the hospital had to do.
Well, of course, because that was what the hospital's guidelines were.
Hmm.
But
Let's move on.
Parents
then.
Just like
guidelines
a,
are
just like a
different.
teacher has to report
Then in
abused
May,
children.
May
So does a hospital or a
2016,
policeman or a
and
firefighter or
trial
EMS.
exhibit 2530-041 in evidence, move to publish.
You may.
All right, so tell us about Maya's ability to tuck her leg under like that before.
Yeah, Maya was unable to really have like any control over her legs.
Happy
If
family.
she wanted to move them, she would have to ask for assistance to move them.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, she was able to move them on her own.
Okay, so was she getting stronger?
Yes, she most definitely was.
And continuing on, let's take a look.
Yeah, we want to thank Law and Crime for this
Yeah.
this great footage
All right,
and
so
video. You know.
Let's look at trial
Oh,
exhibit
definitely.
2530-050. In evidence, move to publish.
You may.
All right, what's happening here?
So that is Maya. She is trying to build upper body strength, doing some exercises on the walker.
Mm-hmm.
And I am there to help her, to assist her, because
See?
it's still not exactly possible, but she is very determined.
It's good brother.
So by this point in July of 2016, was she looking forward to, were you looking forward to your sister getting out of that wheelchair and able to move around?
Yes, we all were, yes.
And so were there times, if there were allegations here that somehow that she was faking it or making any of this up, did you ever see her in a situation where the other kids were playing outside and you saw any emotion on her regarding her ability to join in?
Yes, I have seen stuff like that where I would be with my friends doing something outside, and then I could see her watching from the window, yes.
And
That's sad.
how'd she look?
Yeah.
She looked
She wasn't
very sad,
faking.
and
Come
I
on, this kid wasn't
felt
faking
so
not
bad.
one
She wanted to
bit.
get out
Who
of
wants
that.
to be in a
was
hospital? You know,
extremely
especially as a
excited.
child. None of
So
us.
then all the way through here, July, and then did there come a time within a couple months of this, 6 weeks or so, that she had a setback?
Yes, that's correct.
What happened there?
Her condition just went the complete opposite way. She
Did you ever
started,
learn why? What set it off?
I believe it was something to do with schooling.
Uh-huh. So it was more on like the psychological side than an injury or something?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And so what was your reaction? Did you think this was going to hopefully pass pretty quick?
Well, I was extremely sad because I thought that Maya was going to get better like any time because she was doing the best she has been doing since she was 6. So when this whole thing went the opposite way, our whole family was.
Everybody join in, and let's lounge around with Johnny Gunn's Investigation and News Lounge with Becky tonight, covering Take Care of the Maya trial. This is a brother discussing things that happened in her life.
Excuse me. Okay, and so let me show you then, around the same time, a video previously marked into evidence as 2698. I'd like to publish it to show, I want you to tell us about what's going on here. It's pretty self-evident. Publish.
You may.
Let's see what they're showing here. I guess it just recaps the life of her after Mexico.
Right.
And how's her upper body strength?
Her upper body strength at this point was very good. Swimming is something that both Maya and I love doing, so we would always do it together.
Ooh. She's having fun.
So she was even able to move herself around pretty well in the water.
And this
Yes.
is beautiful Venice, Florida, where
And how
they're
did that
at.
make you feel that your sister could like do that, pull herself out of the water and pull herself over?
Well, yeah, she used to not be able to do that, so at that point
She
when
pulled
was
herself right
able
out.
to do that, it was showing that she was progressing, and I
She's-
thought it was a very good thing.
But still not quite ready to walk?
Correct.
Okay, so she pushed herself around on her legs and like that, and obviously.
She had the upper body strength, but I
Master
think it's her
dolphin.
feet that keeps her from doing that walking well,
Well,
you
maybe
know?
not master
Right.
dolphin, but master dolphin for a little while.
Well, they lost a very
So is this
important thing in their
something that,
life, their mom, in
you
a
all
very
enjoyed?
tragic way.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the dad and the son
Did you
having
know
to
that your
come
mom
home
was
to see
filming
that.
this?
Yeah.
No.
That is upsetting.
And they didn't even know their mom was filming this. This is all like a little surprise film.
Yeah.
Family footage.
So I went and paused it there.
Yeah.
And gonna go ahead and just wrap that up for tonight because we went through the 911 call and we
Sounds good.
listened to some of the testimony and everything. And so
Yep,
they
it was a-
still do have another day of trial tomorrow.
yeah, another day. It's Monday.
Yeah, Monday.
They'll have another trial on Monday. We'll cover that as well and bring it live again at 7:00 on Monday. And, you know, again, everybody has to understand we are on the family side on this story, but I'm also a 1,000 fan of the John Hopkins All Children's Hospital. I'll never
I
go
think
again.
this case is a difficult one for sure.
Yeah, and I mean they have to do what they're doing to family because they do deserve it. But All Children's Hospital, like I said, saved my daughter's life and my daughter Sierra with a heart surgery that it was unreal what they did for her. So All Children's Hospital is one of the best things we can have in this area. So we're going to go ahead and end it tonight. And everybody have a beautiful Friday and a great weekend. But we will be back on tomorrow with another story that we are covering. And I'm glad that everybody came in and lounged out with us with Johnny Gunn's investigation and News Lounge with Becky. You guys have a great night.
All right. We'll talk to you guys next time.
Good night.